The house we lived in before there was an under construction building nearby. In fact, the building cannot be called under construction. Because from the time I went to that house, I saw that the whole 7-story building was in complete condition from the outside. Only the building remained to be painted. The inner room, the balcony, and the bathroom were all there, and I never saw any mason working there. Still, the building remained completely empty for 3 whole years. After 3 years, people came up to the bottom 3 floors. The top 3 floors were still empty. Now let's talk about our building. Our house also had 7 floors. On the 7th floor, there was a flat on the rooftop, and we lived in that roof flat. Half of the place, the rooftop was open. The building was very close to our flat. Because the middle house was very small, it was a 2-story building. I used to love to sit alone on the roof till late at night. I used to sit on the roof till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., especially when there was strong wind or moonlight, and my baby and husband stayed in the flat, although there was only a wall between them and me. The interior of my flat could be seen completely from the roof, through 3 windows and a door, so they could see me as I could see them. Most of the time, I would notice a flat on the 7th floor of that building, whose balcony and adjoining rooms we could see completely. Sometimes a room in that flat was lit at night. The light did not come from a bulb. The light was faint, like a yellow light from a candle or lamp. I have never seen this light at dusk. This light could be seen after midnight, but no people were ever seen. My husband also noticed this. One day we were talking together that maybe some people live in this flat, who return home late at night. Again, the building guard can stay here, or no one lives, but for some reason, the house owner or doorman keeps the lights on here. But on the 5th or 6th floor, we could not see any such light. One day, out of curiosity, my husband asked the doorman of that house about it, but the man replied that every night at 12 o'clock he got up to close the roof door and with a torch in hand, checked the roof, the stairs, and the empty flats. He has never seen anything like this, and no one lives there, so who will light the light? Members of the other flats are not supposed to go to that flat, because the doors of those empty flats were locked and the keys were only with the doorman. I knew he was telling the truth because every night at exactly 12 o'clock, I saw him checking the roof with a torchlight. Moreover, it was not possible for him to see that light, because that light could be seen after 12 o'clock. That was long after the doorman had checked everything and left. Some days at 1 a.m. and some days at 2 a.m. As long as the flat was empty, it occurred continuously and we got used to it. One day was the night of the blue moon. I was loving sitting on the roof in the soft moonlight. Besides, I made a small garden on one side of the roof. I didn't want to go back home, leaving the mesmerizing atmosphere created by the full moonlight and the scent of flowers wafting in the breeze. I was sitting there for almost 2 hours. It was around 2:30 in the night when my eyes fell on the balcony of that flat. At the far end of that balcony, I saw a black object. It seems as if there was a big basket or bucket. It was looking grayish black because of the moonlight. But even in the afternoon, I could not see anything on this balcony. I thought someone had left something behind during this time, because I could not remember that I noticed that direction since the afternoon. I was sitting on a chair. I stood up and went to the edge of the roof to get a better look at the thing. And then I realized how wrong I was. I saw that it was a human shape that was dark gray in color, or it can be said like a shadow whose face, hand, leg, and head were understood but not clearly seen, who had been sitting with his face between his hands on his knees for so long. And when I went to the edge of the roof, just stood up. The thing was unusually tall, as its head touched the balcony's roof as soon as it stood up. The thing stood in front of me for a few seconds and entered the dark room through the door. I felt like he was floating without walking. I stood frozen for a while in fear of this horrible scene. I ran quickly home. I was shivering. Seeing my condition, my husband asked me what happened. I told him what I saw. People started living in that flat 2 months after this incident, but no one could stay in that flat for long. Why they didn't stay there long, I couldn't find out. I think the paranormal activity was related to that.